Because I said before, everything is energy on Earth right now. Everything is about the conflict of energy, and that includes light versus dark, negative versus positive, energy battles. You could say it is kind of like the last great battle. Where the battle of energy is really taking place for most of humanity is in the mind. The mind. Not necessarily being fought on big battlefields. It's in the mind. Humanity is going through a tremendous evolution of going out of the mental era that it's been in for a long time. It's arguable, but you could say anywhere from about 800 years to 2,000 years in a very mental era. It's going beyond that. And as you know from your own personal experience, that's a tough one. How do you get out of your own mind? How do you go beyond the mind, the very thing that's controlling and managing and consuming energy? The very unit that is demanding and consuming huge volumes of energy. The mind, not the body, the mind. Mass consciousness is going through that right now. It's not going to settle down right away. But sooner or later, mass consciousness will evolve beyond the mind. You're doing it right now. You've been doing it for a while. As you go into beyond the mind, what is beyond the mind? What is beyond the mind? Yell it out. Integrated body of consciousness, that's good. And awareness and consciousness are all beyond the mind. Intuition, you don't have to think about things anymore, you just know them. Where you don't have to try anymore. And with that, I'll give you your homework assignment if you want to do homework. If you don't want to do homework, that's fine. This is a good homework. Yes. Pick one day between now and our next, now in the conference for the midsummer in Santa Fe. Pick one day, any day that suits you or pleases you. On that day, don't try. That's easy homework, yeah. On that day, don't try. Now, what I mean by that is stop trying to figure things out. Stop trying to organize things and plan things. Stop trying. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't get out of bed unless you don't want to. But stop pushing against it. Stop this mental activity. When the nagging doubt comes in, when the brain energy consumption comes in, don't play the game. Just take a deep breath, it doesn't matter, and move on. Notice the difference in your own energy level, but more importantly, notice the difference in the result that takes place when you stop trying. When you stop trying to figure it out, stop trying to make it happen, stop worrying about it, stop pushing on it. You'll know you're trying if you get this tension up here. So you take a deep breath and stop trying. Well, it requires tremendous trust, but that's a good thing. That's a fun thing. One day. If you would be so kind to yourself as to write down the next day what you were aware of, what you perceived, what your enlightenment was, if any, about that, about a day of not trying. We'll work with that once we get back together in October, I believe. So with that, let's take a deep breath. You are consciousness. You're not energy. Energy naturally falls into place and goes to work for you, totally efficient, as you become aware, as you become conscious of your presence. Consciousness is awareness of all the different things that are going on. Consciousness ultimately is about your presence right here, right now. Your presence in this moment.